Some of those, yes, they might be further back, but I tell you what, if that last race was anything to go by, they were still there, effectively on the front row. We had them in 4th and 5th place, so great to see that those junior classes can get the recognition they deserve. With Inferno, it's your design and digital team. It's such a huge thing these days because you can wrap them. Of course, you've seen vehicles that start as a white vehicle and end up as another colour, and they're totally done by wrap as we get away. And look at the charge going down on the inside. And look at that from Matt Eggleton. Great start from Matt. Gets the advantage and to see whether he can hold it through the corner. And here we go again with Post Classics Spider. A real sort of a threat for this class because if we didn't have the numbers, we weren't going to have the class. It's good to see that they've returned in unanimous form to say that we still want to own and be part of this race series. And they've gone to Cemetery Circuit and said we can bring the numbers, and they have this year.
Yeah, it's got everyone together. You know, there's bitching and moaning everywhere in the world and that sort of thing. They were just told basically we might be cutting the class because there's another class coming along. Strong call for Flea Willisey to make, the series organiser, because they're actually now having to squeeze an extra race in at the cemetery. So you think it's just only a race, but it's practice and all that. And each class takes about 50 or something minutes to administer during the day and have on the track. So the Post Classics out there and very, very strong. And already the two Yamaha FZR 1000s, Matt Eggleton and Jan Louis out in the front. And I think that might be Dean Bentley in 3rd place there, the first of the little bikes there. Tony Sklenas on 551 was on the front row. He's one of the first of he's one of the small bikes, but I think that's Dean Bentley there on the 511 machine. Expect a strong showing from Steve Bridge, who's been out in the Bears as well, the Bears sports bikes class. He won this last race. He did enter in the Formula 1, but a 752 valve bike from pre-89 would have been a Formula 2 bike back then, which is what we call the junior class. And they had 600cc 4s, 250cc twin 2-strokes and 750s. I remember Robert Holden run a 750 twin for a number of years, so that's what it is. So he entered in the Formula 1 but has been pushed back into Formula 2 where he rightly deserves to be, and he's now actually leading Dean Bentley coming onto the front straight in 5th and 6th place on the track. So a V-twin versus a 4-cylinder. Dean Bentley 511 machine from Lower Hutt there in 5th place. You'll see them apex in turn 1 here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park.
Right, so it's a very good 1, 2, 3, the same riders as we had from our previous race, but we've just readjusted the order. Remembering Matt had headed earlier on, and Tran was able to overtake him during the race and demote Matt back to the 2nd. Carl Hooper there for the 3rd. Didn't have Carl earlier on in the race. The Spider updated. He was back a little bit, but man had one of the benefits of being involved in trackside reviews and the interviews we do at the end of the racing is you get a real close-up of the bike, and that ZXR is a lovely piece of machinery. Man, their design that they had back in those days was just so beautiful. And to see them resurrected and loved and cared for as the way they are now by these riders is fantastic. I tell you what, Carl, the young guy, he wasn't even born when that bike was made. And to see these younger guys have an appreciation for this beautiful machinery and getting it out on the racetrack. Inferno, design and digital. Proud to be working with Cemetery Circuit team, providing them with Pixel Perfect Creation, graphic design, website design and development, brand design. At home at Guyton Street in the fabulous city of Wanganui, the home of the best racing in the world on Boxing Day anywhere in the world. Speaking about the world, for those of you out there with Ctas Live, and to anybody that will be looking at this race either live now or post the event, we welcome you sincerely and hope you're enjoying this opportunity to celebrate the festival of motorcycling that is the Suzuki International Series here down the bottom of the world in little old NZ, enjoying the sunshine of a summer and this fantastic racing for round number 1 of the 3 next week at Mighty Manfield in the Manawatu, approximately 2 hours drive north of Wellington, the capital, so further down the island, about a 3-hour drive from Taupo in the centre here, and of course we just go across in 1 hour to Wanganui. So all of these events really in a bit of a triangle. So for those of you thinking about it, man, after this thing called COVID, would you ever love to come to New Zealand? Yes, indeed, over the period of 3 weeks, you can go to 3 fantastic events, have time to see and look around this great country in the summertime as well, and enjoy a beautiful Christmas down under. Not a white Christmas, well it is if you consider the froth on your champagne or the top of the beer when you shake it, but that's about as close as you'll get. Hope you're loving it. It's following motorcycle racing and Spider. Man, we're so lucky to be in this country and following what we're doing right now.
Yeah, and don't be put off that there's not any internationals here. We've got Damon Rees, who's done an international season, and I checked the statistics out of the Cemetery Circuit. It's only once every 7 years in the 70-year history that we've had an international win there. And in fact, we had Dan Stoffel won there, the main feature race I'm talking about, in 2010. He was the first newcomer to the cemetery circuit, first meeting only in 41 years to win. So the action will still be plenty hot. A big shout out in Liechtenstein to Horst Seiger. Horst had a massive crash several months ago and has got a long road to recovery, and he was looking out, is this race being live streamed? And whether he's watching now or later on, Horst will be watching, and he has raced in this class here at the Suzuki Series. He raced in the Formula 1 class as well and had some great rides, great wins, and he also raced a ZXR 750 Kawasaki, like we've got in third place here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park for the second race of the day for the Post Classic. 78 is getting closed in on. John Lewis closed in. He opened up the lead a bit earlier, but now there's about 6 bike lengths between first and second as they head into turn 1. A long ride, lonely ride for Carl Hooper. Back there, Steve Bridges being hunted down still by 5'11" Dean Bentley for the first of the junior, the Formula 2 bikes. There's Tony Sklenas from Wanganui. 551 goes through the start-finish line, and waiting out for another bike. Can't quite see it, the screen's in the way at the moment. We'll get it. It's number 14, and that is Jeff Groot, I think, from Wanganui. Jeff Groot on the Marshall Motorcycles ZXR 750 Kawasaki 396. That looks like another Wanganui bike. 396 is Mark McKenzie from Wanganui on the CB400R. In fact, I think maybe Tony Sklenas is on the CB400, CBR 400 as well, not a 600, so I must catch up on that. Tony Sklenas is 551. Let's have a look through the program. And indeed, he's a CBR 600, so he's got a couple of hundred more cc. So great racing out there. 229 Phil Clark on the Suzuki GS 1000, about a 1979 model. We've got 71 out there, and that is Mark Hodson there, and he's running an RGV 250 Suzuki, Neil Ritchie.
I'll tell you what as well, the people might be keen to watch with this class is the fact that we go to Wanganui, and I'll add these names for you. Paul Pavlitic, legend. Nick Kempenhort, legend. We go down to Robbo Robinson, Mark Robinson. Of course, he's a little magician, and a lot of respect for Mark, all-round nice guy from a great family. Rory Garvey, Bill James himself, the Wanganui all-round cool guy, and Pete Finesse. Now, they're people that are only coming out to race in Wanganui, so they're only doing the one round. No chance of being in the series points, but more importantly, they're going to ride the legendary street circuit of the South Pacific and Wanganui's Boxing Day. So you can add all of what we've got, plus those riders, for example, to bring it all together. So there you are with Inferno Digital and Design. An update still with Matt Eagleton in front, with Joan Louis in second. Look to Carl Hooper, go back to Steve Bridge and Dean Bentley and Tony Sklenas. So we've got 3 seniors and 3 juniors. So effectively the first 6 are the podium for each of those respective groups. Yeah, generally the big guys taking advantage, but I tell you what, those F2 or junior bikes aren't too far off the pace of the best boys. Look at, in fact, their time. Steve Bridges last time at a 1:41. Well, you've only got Carl Hooper at a 1:42, so there's really only 0.12 of a second difference between them, which is minuscule in comparison to the speed and the times that they do out here. Just 2 laps to go. We've got a shortened format this afternoon. We've used up a lot of time. Took 4 hours to do our first round. Well, we can't be going in. The street lights will be coming on if we're still racing here. So a shortened format for this afternoon's racing for this Inferno Design and Digital race with just 2 to go. But I'll tell you what, on for the glory of that front one. What are you saying there, Spider? Because last time I put the commentators the opposite of the curse, because I said, John Lou, I don't think you got a chance with a lap to go, because it looked like Matt Eagleton was completely in control, and as soon as I said it, bang, he took it.
Yeah, well, he's been putting his nose up there. There was about a bike length between them on turn 5 and then turn 6 and turn 7, so they're coming through the flip-flop in towards the front straight at the moment. 2 FZR 1000 Yamahas. Don't forget, folks, the Desert Road closed 7 o'clock, so you can't drive there, but if you do want to go and bury your body there, it's probably a good time.
All right, here we go, and the white flag out, the white flag, so there's only one to go. Matt and Joan crossing the line. The margin between them is absolutely negligible, and the difference, well, what are you going to say? You're going to say 0.1? Nothing more than that, maybe a 1.5 at best. Oh, there we go. In fact, here's the attack coming. Joan putting the pressure bag on. Can Matt hold him out? We're on for the last one. We're looking out. We go through turn 3, heading for 4 at the moment, and there you are in the silhouette of the riders as they go round on an angle just for the sun to shine. At that point, you always think they're side by side, they're so close together. Could be a little bit of rubber to rubber, maybe plastic to plastic. You get the idea. Talking about it, handlebar to handlebar racing, and John's known that he's had the opportunity to do it. He proved that in the last one. He wants to do it again. So Matt's got a level of score now. All of a sudden, you watch him take an inside line, and then he realises, well, that line is blocked. I'm going outside. So out of the corner, they go down next to the airstrip here and down by the horse racing track. So we've certainly got a lot of festival and local activities here on the edge of the town of Taupo. You think of a lot of international road race circuits around the world, and some of them, you only got to look at Portugal, for example. You go into the middle of absolutely nowhere. There's no not a house within cooey of that, and some of them are the same, of course, governed by noise and other restrictions. We're literally only a kilometre away from the edge of Taupo. Fantastic adventure wonderland town here, slap bang in the middle of the North Island. So great to see that we've got all of this beautiful landscape laid before us. A big crowd up on the embankment today, thoroughly enjoying the racing and going for the charge at the moment. Looking out. There we are, nothing between them. It's all on here at the moment, and the dab to go for it. As we're going to see a change, Phil. Oh no, I still think that's too wide, Spider. I think we've got to, it'll stay there.
Yeah, 10 to 12 bike lengths, but I'll tell you what, Jan Louis clean, takes a wider line coming on the front straight to try and get that drive, but Matt Eggleton pumps his head up and down. He's taken the race win here for the Inferno Design and Digital Post-Classics Pre-89 class, Paragon Motorcycle supported as well. So there it is, Jeff Groot goes through, no, it's not Jeff Groot. It's not Jeff Groot, waiting for the timing screen to refresh. So it was Matt Eggleton and then Jan Louis, and then it was Carl Hooper, Carl, number 46, followed by Steve Bridge, the first of the junior bikes. Home Team Bentley goes through, and Tony Sklenas is coming through there. He'll take third in the juniors and about 6 overall. Great day, is it, Neil? It was cold as a mother-in-law's kiss here this morning, but it certainly warmed up and the wind's pretty well disappeared. Manfield next weekend, hopefully we get a fine day. It's not a bad track in the wet, it just makes the day go longer. And of course, they've got an extra class squeezed in, and the long-range forecast for Christmas is, let's hope it's fine.
Indeed, certainly the weather is a big factor, and just we're at the beginning of the summer and the spring has sort of just gone on and on, but we know, in fact, that our autumns, and we've proved that over the last few years, they just keep getting extended and extended.
Oh, the bike down there on the flip-flop there.
Oh man,
Lapper got tailed up there, so
that was very lucky, because the other rider coming through actually went between the bike and the rider. So there we are, and this has all happened on the second last corner as we head for home, and it will quickly, I'm sure. In fact, we've still got one on the racetrack. He's slowed up very well indeed, and looking out there for the rider. In fact, slowed right up to the extent we've probably gone past at about 2 or 3 mile per hour. That's slow, and that is nice. But there we are, officials to run across there at this stage and tend to our rider. But the positive, if there is one, in fact, no, there's still more. They were up in the blind spot. Oh, no, they're the ones that have done the last lap, so they've gone effectively off the track prior to that point. So the officials, I'm sure, will be quickly on the spot to deal with that. An opportunity again to talk about our sponsors like Paragon Motorcycles, at home at Wanganui on Wilson Street since 1973. Long-time supporters of Wanganui Racing, at home with Yamaha and Kawasaki, and repairing all the good brands. Wanganui itself, of course, all you need and then some. This fabulous city that's really come of age. Wanganui is something special. Wanganui was one of those places that wasn't mainstream New Zealand, so it was out of the limelight, but luckily New Zealand's had a real profile on the other cities, and it's places like Wanganui that have really come to the fore. And when you think of all of the great touristy things to do around Wanganui, it's a cool place. I've spent many of my life's years, in fact, effectively my mother was born there, my wife's been born there, and we've had family there, and it's a great opportunity to go back to the place. So we love it, and of course it was headquarters for work, so you used to go there from an HQ point of view. So we love the place, hope you do as well, and we clearly know it is the street racing capital of the South Pacific. With iPone 100% motorcycle and motogear.co.nz, of course iPone as well, a Red Bull Rookies official partner, and of course iPone as well, working with the MXGP, so quality oil and a quality relationship they've got. Shout out to our good mate Charlie, or officially Carl Vandermeer Builders, but we've just known him as Charlie for so long. Your total building solutions for a full project management of your new house, design and build, and all your home improvements and renovations. See CD Vandermeer Builders today. It's cdvandermeer.co.nz on 027 446 3238. So Charlie's got a beautiful photo there, of course. He's also a certified building practitioner. He's a member of the Masters Builders Register as well, so you know he's dealing with quality, so great to see. Suzuki Fest is what goes on at this time of year with Suzuki New Zealand, effectively from late October through to the end of January. They've got fabulous motorcycles. What about this one? Tough week and easy ride. It's the Gixxer SF 250. We have the little Gixxer 150 as part of our racing, but the 250 as well has got some fantastic deals, 4,999 plus on road. So, and of course, what we call LAMS approved. That's a learner approved motorcycle, LAMS. So I get where you need to go with the GSX-R style Gixxer 250. 250 and score 150 dealer points to spend in store as well. More details at suzuki.co.nz with the offer ending 31st of January. Speaking of Wanganui, well, one thing that happens with the Cemetery Circuit on Boxing Day is the day after. It's the PSP New Zealand Jet Sprint Championships. Now, jet sprints are jet boats that have got 500, 600, 700 horsepower engines tucked in the bottom of them. They actually operate on, no exaggeration, about 100 to 200 mils of water. That's all they need, and they can absolutely fly. And they're super spectacular. They have the odd crash and they spin off the course, but that is wicked fun to watch. More details at www.v8jetsprints.co.nz. So Boxing Day, Wanganui, bang. You can watch all the racing on Super Saturday, then go for the Super Sunday and round 2, December the 27th at the Shelter View Jet Sprint track in Wanganui. Well, we've got medical people on the track, which means that we've got a good opportunity to completely go with our wrap of our sponsors, because we can't do it without them, folks. We love these people. Like Richard, premium European motorcycle apparel. In conjunction with our team at White's, we've got Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. Of course, you've got the Battleaxe Hypersport range taking you to the next level. Showy, of course, world-acclaimed helmets. The new 2021 graphics available now with the X-Spirit 3 and the Power Rush TC8. You've got the Lucky Charms with the GT Air 2 and the Lucky Charms TC10, all part of White's powersports.com, your local authorised Bridgestone, Showy and Richard stockers. See the list for a full range. And Bike Talk Tamaranui, to Russell we say an awesome thanks. Little Tamaranui, nestled up there at the top of the Whanganui River and in that beautiful King Country area, and he's got an amazing bike shop up there with a number of brands, but particularly Suzuki, a way of life, and a long-time supporter of this series, and of course a great ambassador for it. And thanks to Russell acting as what we call the rider's rep as well. So an intermediary with regards to any officialdom that needs to go on, which for the Suzuki Series is minimal, because we're here for a good time, not a long time. Hey, to the Rutland Arms Inn as well. Lovely place to go. Had the opportunity to meet with friends and family in Wanganui recently. Where did we choose to go? Rutland Arms. You'll love it as well. Wanganui's favourite restaurant and bar, proud to be supporting Cemetery Circuit. We invite you to come and try our new summer menu. Sample the beers from our range of over 30 local, international and New Zealand craft beers. And after a great day out at the races, come along and enjoy the friendly Wanganui atmosphere. Inquiries at rutlandarms.co.nz. And of course, that is effectively on Ridgeway Street, which is the same street as the start-finish. So just trucking on down into the city, about another 3 blocks and you're there. You can walk that distance to go. Also to Carl Cox Motorsport. Thank you, Carl. Always great to be backing the New Zealand race campaign. He's, of course, is a backer here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, and we love having him on board for the series. Plus, of course, he's got the team out there with 2 wheels and 3 wheels on motorcycles and sidecars. To Ignition Motor Group, the home of Mahindra and Kia, Wanganui and District's Holden Kia and franchise holders for your part servicing and vehicle requirements at home at St John Street in Wanganui. Hey, even a better ride, sign up for Ride Forever coaching at www.rideforever.co.nz. Our thanks to the ACE and the Rider Initiative. It's fantastic, Ride Forever. Man, those courses are very professional. You learn so much from them, and when you're doing them for $20, well, it's just an absolute giveaway. Anybody who's not doing that shouldn't be a motorcyclist on the road. Hey, folks, we'll take a little bit of a break and be back with more of the excitement. We'll let the working crew here do a great job behind the scenes, and we'll be back for some more racing shortly. Stay with us.
All right, thank you very much. We've got the pre-89 senior podium here. Carl, you rode well today, 2/3, but just didn't quite have enough for the big thousands.
Nah, that extra CC, gives them that punch down the straight, but I think we're going to have to bring 2 sets of tyres down to Manfield, because I had nothing second lap and the rear was just... So, good race by these two. I had nothing for them in that last one, but just glad to be back on the podium, and we'll see if we can give them a bit more run for their money at Manfield.
Well done, dude. Well done, 2/3 today. Well done, Carl. Gian, you had him race 1. What happened in that one? Couldn't quite get it done?
Oh, just not enough laps, eh?
So you're pretty happy with how the thing's going?
Yeah, bike's going really good.
Awesome. So second and a first, so that'll give you equal heading into field. We'll come over here into this one here, Matt. So well done. You got it done, race 2. Must have been pretty heartbreaking in that race 1 final lap, but got the job done, and takes a bit of a moral advantage into Manfield next round.
Massively, mate. It's amazing what your head can do and can't do when it wants to. After the mistake into turn 1 on the first race, just had to get your head right, and that's what the difference is, man. So no mistakes, nice and clean, and that's the result you get, so that's what we're here to do.
So your bike, body, you feeling good? Feeling like you can do this for the season?
Oh, the bike's feeling wonderful. I've spent 2 years off the bike, so I'm not feeling that wonderful. But hey, the more we're on the bike, we're getting fitter, my arms are getting better, and we're just hanging on to it a bit longer, so it's all good.
Magic, awesome. That's a wrap for post-classic pre-89 racing for round one of the Suzuki International. Take over.